a look at how to use Google Earth to plan our redfish fishing trip. For those of you who fish along the coastline of Mississippi or Louisiana, you probably already know that Delacroix Island is probably the premier place to catch redfish. Vast amount of marsh provides just a very unique ecosystem housing crabs and shrimp, pogies, mullet, all, prey that redfish love to eat upon. And there's so much of the marsh and so many places that are very inaccessible to most people that redfish can really thrive in this area before becoming uh, mature redfish and then leaving to go offshore. So we want to talk a little bit about how to use Google Earth and how we can use the tool to help us plan our fishing trip to Delacroix Island. So here I'm going to zoom out a little bit to show you where Delacroix is. So here's New Orleans. Delacroix is located island down here. Delacroix Island is located down here. There's a marina here. There's a lodge here. So for those of you who might want to come spend a weekend, I stay at the Delacroix Sweetwater Marina. Captain Jack Payne owns that, has a great lodge there, and provides great access to red fishing year round. So here's a couple things that I want to talk about Google Earth for. Number one, it can be used to help us predict how we can navigate to our fishing locations. With that being said, I do think it's a great idea to always talk to the locals, find out if there's any underwater obstructions or things that may have changed there over time that would possibly present a hazard to your boat. One cool thing about Google Earth that can give you a way that an area is probably navigable is if we zoom in, we can actually see boats. This is Bayou Terrebuff here, and so we can see a boat traveling there. That's a good sign that's navigable waters. If we look, I think I just caught a glimpse of a boat. Nope, that's something a little different. But you'll see as here's one right here. So we have this boat in what's called Little Lake, or as it's known on the map here is Petite Lake. So that lets you know that that's navigable there probably in all but the lowest waters. Here's another boat that we can see. Looks like a crab boat here. So there's a couple of things that you can use that you can see to find if waters are navigable if you see a boat in that area. Another great tool that Google Earth gives you during certain times of year, you'll be able to change. I can look through the historical imagery and I can look back in time at different times of year and see how water and pattern changes, how grass changes, those type of things. Probably see a little bit more grass, for instance, in the summer than you would see in the winter. So just a couple things there. So let's look at, let's say that I want to fish this area and I really want to fish ponds. It looks like we're going to have a high tide on our next fishing trip, and I want to fish in an area that maybe is a little bit off the beaten path, but has a lot of what we would call duck ponds. Small ponds that may only have 1 to 3 feet of water, but would have patrolling redfish and would give us a great opportunity to sight fish. So there's just really, there's numerous options as I look around. But let's say I want to start in this area right here. So there's some promise here. This is Oak River, passes through here. We've got the twin pipelines coming through. But if we look, this area right in here is kind of riddled with all these potential places for redfish to get in, what I would call these little duck ponds. So if we zoom in a little bit more, we can see along some of these banks, we really can tell that there's grass in these areas. So we can see this bank is really choked with the grass. This pond may actually be too shallow for us to fish, or may be too covered with grass. Remember, grass is bad for fishermen, not for fish. But it looks like this area right here would provide good access. Maybe we could try this area. But the thing I really like about this is we have some bayous coming across, and then we have access to lots and lots of ponds that we can get in and float one after another. Here's a really nice one here, looks like one in here, but notice I really prefer ones that have a lot of grass on the edge but deep water bayous here. So even like we look at these deep water bayous, they all have grass here along those edges. One more tip I want to show you that really is nice with Google Earth is you can actually find uh, islands maybe that have sunk beneath the surface over time. I showed this in one of my speckled trout videos as well. But here we have kind of a piece of broken marsh that extends out into Black Bay. You notice here that we're looking at this satellite imagery from November the 20th, 2016. And this is what that looks like at that point. But if we go back in time and we go back to, let's say, 2004, you'll notice that there was an island here. And I talk about this island in the speckled trout video. It's a great place to catch speckled trout in this early spring and fall as they transition from the bays into the marsh or from the marsh back out into the bays. But these areas also will hold big bull reds. So if you get tired of catching those slot reds and or maybe tournament reds and you just want to go out and have fun for a while, a lot of times those mature bull reds will come back into these outer bays, and there's really great opportunities to catch those over something like this, which is a sunken island which you can't see, but something like Google Earth here can really give you a heads up to, hey, I can't see that now, but there's once an island there. So I can mark these coordinates, again going back in time. I can click on these coordinates, drop a pin there, and this will tell me the coordinates, which I can then put on my GPS or my map to go hunt for some potential reds. So we'll name this potential bull reds. Click OK. And now I have a pin on this map that will be there whenever I open up my version of Google Earth that I'm running here locally on my laptop. The great thing is you can export these placeholders and then import those onto your own fish finder. So that's just a quick look. We'll cover a little bit more in Google Earth about Google Earth and how it can be used for your fishing trips. But I just wanted to show you real quickly how we can use it to find grass mats in the marsh, how we can use it to find routes in the marsh, and then possibly even find some locations that we can't see that were once islands before, but now are hidden below the surface. But through using Google Earth, we can find out where those islands were. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you find more redfish.